Do you know that your SOP or your statement of purpose is the second most important element of your scholarship application? It can either mar or make your scholarship application, and it is a test of your understanding of your particular field. It is not a time for you to be generic, it is when you have to be specific. Without further ado, in this episode, I'm going to guide you on how to write an award-winning statement of purpose or SOP. Hi everyone, welcome again to this episode on Chrys-O. If you are visiting for the first time, I'm Chris and I am a graduate student at the Simon Fraser University where I study philosophy, and I am on a fully funded scholarship, and I am also a Biaggioni scholar. And in this YouTube channel, I talk about fully funded scholarship opportunities for those who want them, especially for humanities students. So if you do enjoy my videos, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to like the videos and share with your friends and acquaintances. And for my returning viewers, thank you always for tuning in and for joining me in this channel. So it has been quite a long time since I made a video. I've been mourning the outcome of the Nigerian election, and thankfully the period of mourning is over and we are back to business. We are here to stay and to help people who want to win scholarships. Yes, so if you are looking for scholarship, come on in, you're obviously in the right place. So today's episode, I will talk about statement of purpose, and as a way of proceeding, I'm going to do three things. I'm going to leave guidelines on how to write your statement of purpose. Secondly, I'm going to leave some tips or some common mistakes you should avoid when writing your statement of purpose. And then thirdly, I'm going to share with you my award-winning statement of purpose. I think I should begin by defining a statement of purpose for those who do not know what we are talking about. A statement of purpose is that document that highlights your areas of research interest and your motivation for wanting to embark on that particular degree. Statement of purpose is very important because that is where you highlight your areas of research interest, what you want to do for your degrees, and it is with this document that your admission officers will know how to go about reviewing your other documents, like which of the professors should we send your application to review. It can be called a statement of intent or letter of intent, can be called motivation letter, can be called letter of motivation or motivation statement. It is, however, not the same as a personal statement. A personal statement is a document that highlights all your personal history that are non-academic in nature that might have contributed to your motivation to want to embark on that particular journey. So, statement of purpose is purely academic unless specified otherwise. Having cleared that out of the way, here are my 5 must-have in every statement of purpose. It's like a golden rule. All the statement of purpose that I review, I highly encourage and advise that it should have these 5 set of contents. It's like a golden rule. So first, begin your SOP with what you are applying for. I'm applying for a master's program, the name of school, and a general reason for why you're applying for that program. So something of the nature like I want to advance my career or whatever, or strengthen my undergraduate education, or something of similar nature. Then secondly, you must highlight your areas of research interest and specialization in that particular program. What are those things you want to do that you are interested in, those areas, thematic areas in that field that you are interested in. Remember, your statement of purpose is a test of your understanding of that particular field, so you must go deep, you must be specific, show them that you really know what is going on in that field. Thirdly, you must highlight all your qualifications, your certifications, things that have prepared you to want to embark on that journey, things that have informed your areas of research interest. Here you mention things like what you graduated with, if you did any internship or any research assistantship that you have gained knowledge that has informed your areas of research interest or what you want to do for that program. Fourthly, you must answer this question: why that particular school? Of all other schools that you would have applied to, why this one? This is where you mention things like if there is a particular course that that department has that other department do not have. This is where you mention it. If there is a particular professor whose research trajectory you love, here is where to mention it. If there is maybe there is this practicum that the course has, that the program has, that attracted you, you mention it. Be careful not to mention all these generic reasons, like saying things like this is a top high ranking research university. In fact, many schools can boast of the same claim, can boast that they are high ranking research university. So it must be something particular, it must be something specific about that program. And I always encourage my friends and my mentees to focus on courses, professors, and maybe other element that the department has, things like practicum or things like maybe a particular research center that the student might benefit from. Lastly, or the fifth must have in your statement of purpose is your future goals. What is your future research goals? What do you hope to learn from this program? And then after that, you end with a general statement of how you will be delighted to learn from and contribute to their wealth of knowledge. Learning from the department, and then you're also expected to contribute to the department. Yes, we have cleared that out of the way. Now, these are things that you should be worried about when you are writing your statement of purpose. Do not be shallow, do not be superficial. You have to be specific, particular, and know your way around the department. So I understand that many people would be writing to different departments. So do your due diligence whenever you are writing, whichever school you want to apply to. Do your due diligence and look up the schools, look up to the professors. And when you're also mentioning professors, like I said, do not be shallow or superficial. You need to have read at least one of the professor's latest works. You need to have read it and mention it that you've read it. And if you are fortunate enough, it is someone you have always read, it's even easier. Although it is controverted whether you should mention particular professors in that department or not. Well, try to mention them if you want. If not, don't mention. But if you don't know what to write on your statement of purpose, it's always nice to mention them. Not one person though. It is dangerous to mention one person. Maybe that one person is not going to be in the department that year, or maybe it's on sabbatical, so stuff like that. So try to mention at least 3 professors, right? Mention at least 3 professors. And then more mechanical tips I will leave is make sure that you proofread your statement of purpose over and over again. Give it to people to help you to review. And like I said, you can send your SOPs to me and just send it before, like way before the deadline, so I could help you to review them. And I don't think I have any other thing to add with regards to tips, but yeah, most importantly, I reiterate, be specific and particular. Yes. Okay guys, we are in the last section of today's episode, and I'm going to read out my award-winning SOP. This SOP won me several awards, I think about 4 of them, and I've loved it. So I'm going to share with you, and you be the judge of how well did I do. Of course, if I'm going to rewrite it today, there are many things I would change, but yeah, so I'm going to read it anyways. I've changed some stuff so that to maintain confidentiality. Yeah, so let's begin. I am applying to the graduate program in philosophy at the University of Pensa to build on the foundations that my undergraduate philosophy studies have laid, and to hone my skills in the areas of philosophy that have come to interest me. I hope this will prepare me for a career in philosophy. That is first paragraph, name of school, program, and general reason for why you want to apply for it. Discipline-wise, my goal for applying to the graduate program is to advance my knowledge in ethics, epistemology, and the philosophy of science, to be able to respond to more applied ethical, epistemic issues in science, medicine, public health, and in society in general. During my undergraduate studies, I was exposed to both the ethical epistemic issues surrounding the introduction of AI as decision-making agent in human society, especially within the medical profession. Particularly as a research assistant, I dealt with the tensions between human and machine agency. It was this exposure that informed my interest in discussions about the ethical issues arising from conceptualizing AI as decision-making agents in and of themselves, rather than as tools for decision-making in our healthcare systems, and the implications of this on the concept of human agency within this context. Just like human beings can make bad decisions, what would it be like if AIs were to make bad decisions? What would be the nature of the responsibility to go with such agency, if any at all? I believe an adequate and advanced preparation in ethics, epistemology, philosophy of science, and their associated areas would help me to respond to these kinds of questions and others like them. Furthermore, in the course Philosophy of Science, I was introduced to basic concepts like the structure and nature of scientific knowledge, objectivity of scientific knowledge, theory of scientific revolutions, and scientific authority. The capstone for me in this course was a research I delivered at a conference hosted by the Philosophers Association of Nigeria. In this paper, I critiqued the notion of consensus knowledge. I furthered the argument that other than shared knowledge, people, in this case health professionals or the scientific community, might reach consensus knowledge for other reasons that are non-epistemic, for example, shared bias or opposition to a common enemy. It was this investigation that fueled my interest to want to further my knowledge on causation and correlation, on the theory of evidence and inference, and by extension clinical judgment, collective knowledge, and the structure of medical theory. In like manner, I also want to understand better the relations between evidence and values and scientific models and truth in graduate school. I hope to learn even more about these and other associated issues in philosophy. My goal to strengthen my philosophical foundations and knowledge in ethics, epistemology, and philosophy of science to respond to particular ethical epistemic issues in science, medicine, public health, and in the society as a whole has drawn me to the University of Pensa. The program would afford me the opportunity to learn from notable professors with substantive work in ethics, epistemology, philosophy of science, and in more particular science-related issues. Among the faculty that I would love to learn from are Eva Natasha, Clinton Smith, and Hilary Stiff. I admire Dr. Natasha's research interest in mechanisms. In fact, her work on mechanisms, what are they evidence for in evidence-based medicine? This was a particular article this professor wrote, was instrumental in shaping my philosophical interests, and the trajectory of my philosophical research aligns with my goal of responding to epistemic issues in science and medicine. Dr. Smith interests me because of his current focus on practical reasoning and moral agency. I believe I would learn more about normativity from him, especially as this conjoins ethics and epistemology. I consider the direction of Dr. Stiff's research in philosophy of science fascinating, especially his interest in scientific computing. I have been following the trend that notes simulation and thus computing as a third pillar alongside theory and experimentation of today's science. As a result, I am looking forward to the outcome of Dr. Stiff's project on the third pillar of scientific rationality. Overall, the multidisciplinary nature of the research of faculty at the University of Pensa's Department of Philosophy and the emphasis of some faculties' research on science and technology perfectly matches my wide goals and interests. I would be honored to contribute to and learn from such a dynamic learning community. Okay guys, that is that, and yes, I don't have anything to add. So guys, please, if you did enjoy this video, do give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Please like and share my videos. Bye bye.